right, a full night of heavy metal. WMMS in 2 hours of midnight presenting the Black Dahlia Murder here in Cleveland on the Beg to Serve tour. They are your headliner with 4 special guests. Write them down. Angel Maker is going to open. Vomit Forth, Dying Fetus, and Spite. Ooh, that's going to be a good show. Thursday, October the 3rd. It's all going to go down at the world-famous Agora. You can go to agoracleveland.com for the info on the tickets. This pair for you. 2 for the Black Dahlia Murder from Detroit, Michigan. Call 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Alan Cox.
A drummer, or even a real musician, he just makes a noise. If he played the violin or the piano, anything that made sense, but the drums.
100.7 WMMS.
We were talking about how they were going to make that big Sonic Temple announcement today, and they said that it was the most requested Sonic Temple band of all time and that they had never played before, and my first thought was Metallica, but then I thought that Metallica had played Sonic Temple, but they had only been booked to play Sonic Temple. They were going to be the big headliner the year that COVID shut everything down. So they have brought Metallica back, and Sonic Temple will have Metallica headlining two
nights,
of the nights. Yeah, because that's what they've been doing on that M72 tours. They do weekend shows. So they go to a city and they play Friday and Sunday nights. They have different openers. They have a different set list. And so that's what they're going to be doing at Sonic Temple this year, which is like the first week in May. It's a little earlier than it has been in years past.
Yeah, 10th. They're playing 10th and 11th. Or
10th and 11th, yep.
no, that can't be right because they're doing every.
Well,
other
they're doing
night.
Friday and Sunday.
Yeah,
So they'd
10th
be
and 12 or something. I don't know.
something like
I'm
that.
just looking at.
Yeah. I think the 9th, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That Friday night, Rob Zombie will open for them, and that Sunday night, Alice in Chains will open for them. So it's basically part of Metallica's tour that they're doing 2 nights.
9th and 11th. There we go.
The 9th and 11th. Never forget.
Now, does that mean that Limp Bizkit? Because on the flyer that I'm seeing, this is like the Metallica World Tour flyer. It says Limp Bizkit and Ice Nine Kills are opening those shows, and then on the Friday show, and then I don't know. So like, are they going to be there?
Well, as
too?
far
They
as
just haven't
I don't
officially
know,
announced it yet?
I don't know. The announcement I saw for Sonic Temple was they were announcing Metallica and they were announcing Rob Zombie on that Friday night and Alice in Chains on that Sunday night.
I feel like Limp Bizkit did it this year already. I don't know.
108 bands over 4 days and 4 stages at Sonic Temple there at Crew Stadium in Columbus. It is May 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. The pre-sale starts Monday at noon. So if you're interested in it. And again, Sonic Temple is one of those festivals where you just can't lose. You know, that's why it's one of the handful of festivals where they feel pretty confident in telling people to buy tickets before they even do the lineup. That's become more of a thing with festivals because, once you have some name recognition, I think once you have some equity with the audience, Lollapalooza does it. Incarceration, I think, does it too. Not every festival because, people need to figure out where their concert dollar is going. But that's probably not a festival where you'll see Bridget Linton walking around, right? You're probably not walking around the rock and metal festivals.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No,
Probably
but she did
not.
Just have an iconic moment at a concert.
Oh.
Did you really?
Oh, like my life is complete, actually. If I died tomorrow,
Was
I
this
think
the
I
Missy
would...
Elliott show?
Yes.
I saw the video, but I thought you did this for her years ago.
No. Okay.
Didn't
so
you tell us the story? Like,
my fun fact for the last 3 years has been I Irish dance for Missy Elliott via FaceTime.
oh.
And I've always said one day I'm going to meet her in real life and I'm going to Irish dance for her.
You did it on
And
FaceTime, right?
The moment finally happened. So, yeah, to remind you, so 3 years ago, there was a big rap concert in good old Youngstown, Ohio. And I was there and I was doing backstage interviewed Trina, the rapper, and her manager was there and had followed me on Instagram. And this was around like April time. And he's looking at it and he's like, what is this wild dance that you're doing? This is a great one, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Look at him. Knows his Irish music.
I know.
Just said Irish. Typed it in.
And boom, pops right up.
Yeah.
So Trina's manager
Bill, I'm
was
trying to
like,
look cool here. Will you call him?
he literally
Play better music.
he had never seen or heard of Irish dancing, and I was just very confused by it. And then Trina's like, yeah, what's Irish dancing? I'm like, come on, guys. Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance, Riverdance. No idea. So he's like, well, can you do it for us? So I did for Trina. Trina was mind blown. FaceTimes Missy Elliott and says, Missy, you got to watch this girl and watch her do this crazy dance. So I did it for
Say
Missy
it like
Elliott.
she said it.
I don't quite remember, Bill.
She's
not-
watches what Big J?
Black Irish?
Well, when she said Missy, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way it says Missy Elliott. And it was. So it's been my fun fact. I'm like, I cannot believe this. Missy Elliott has seen me Irish dance. I don't care. It was via FaceTime. It happened. So then fast forward to now, Missy Elliott was coming to Romo Fijo for a concert. And I contact Trina's managers. I know he also worked for Missy Elliott. And I'm like, hey, are you going to be in town for this? He's like, yep, of course. I'll get you tickets.
And he remembered you, or this is someone with whom you had stayed in contact?
Like ish, yeah, because they live in Miami, so I've gone to Miami and I would contact, but we've never been able to meet up. And I'm like, hey, if you're gonna be in Cleveland, and also, can you get me some tickets?
Hey, how can I get into one of Diddy's freak-offs?
Please help me out. So I'm
It's
meeting
BYOL.
him. I'm meeting him outside of Romo Fijo, and there's a videographer there capturing the fans going into Romo Fijo for the concert. And so this manager was like, wait. Brings the videographer over. He's like, you got to do your dance. And I'm like, all right, come on. Am I like your performance monkey every time like you see someone? They're like, hey, watch her. She can do this Irish dance.
Yep.
So of course I did it though.
At least you're known for something. I mean,
true.
you know what I mean? You're
It's a fun
accomplished,
fact.
but that's a big deal.
Fun-
I thought I read that Missy Elliott had never played Cleveland before. I'm like, that can't be right. It cannot be right that she had never been here before.
She just doesn't go on tour very often. So that could be real life.
I mean, she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
She
Bill.
sure is.
You'd certainly think that,
She sure is. So the videographer, I do it, and he's like, yeah, this is going to be a recap of all of the fans that are going to the concerts. We'll do one specific for each city. So be on the lookout on Missy's social media accounts. You'll probably be a part of it for this little dance I did outside of the arena. I'm like, oh my gosh, cool. So I'm already thinking that's cool enough. So then during the concert, a security guard comes over to me and hands me a backstage pass. I was like, what? And he was like, yep, you might have to do this dance in real life. At that point, I'm like, Busta's on stage. By the way, Busta Rhymes was amazing in concert.
Busta Rhymes, I don't think
good.
ever got the respect he deserved for being lightning fast, funny as balls.
Yep.
Really, really good. Love Busta Rhymes.
I was already a fan. I became a bigger fan
He's
after
awesome.
seeing him perform,
Yep.
and he's still just as good as ever. Did all of his super fast raps. He was unbelievable. So at this point, I'm like, how am I supposed to concentrate on Missy's concert knowing I'm gonna meet her afterwards? So anyways, the concert, she was incredible too. Actually, the president and CEO of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Greg Harris, he came out on stage, gave her a little presentation. Missy took off like her headpiece that she wore. I forget what video it was, and gave it to him to put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was a cool moment.
okay.
Yeah. So I'm backstage waiting. So obviously, I'm not the only person with backstage passes. So finally, the dressing room opens, and someone says, "Is Bridget out here?" I'm like, right here. And so I go in and they start playing Pass That Dutch, which she kind of has dancers that they do some version of Irish dancing. It's not, but they kind of throw their feet around.
It's
And
inspired by.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've got to see this in real life. And at that point, like I had nothing planned. I feel like I just like threw my feet around. I didn't even like do like a great performance.
Well, that's why I thought part of it, because I saw the video, I thought to some degree you were probably felt like you were just outside of your body.
I was.
Like you were just kind of maybe focused on something straight ahead of you, and your legs were working through muscle memory and independent of your brain.
I mean, I could have done so many cooler things. I didn't even do any cool tricks. I literally just like flailed my feet around. But I'm like,
But she also wouldn't have known.
She did it.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
You heard her in the video. Yeah, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it is on there right now. And she's like, ooh, like making all the noise, like, okay, all right, yes. And I did. I'm like, Missy, I'm trying to be normal right now, but I have to be weird. Like, you are Missy Elliott. I'm like, can I hug you? She was like, yeah.
Missy Misdemeanor Elliott.
She sure
yes.
is.
Uh-huh.
She is a little thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I
she
know
is
she's
now.
5'2".
Didn't used to
I
be.
want to dance with you. So I knew
Yep.
she was 5'2". But yeah, now I don't know if she's on the Ozempic or what, but she is.
No, she
skinny.
lost that weight a while ago.
I thought so.
And she's
Yeah.
kept it off. Yeah.
Yeah,
she
she's-
got real slim.
I felt like a Amazon next to her. I was like,
Yeah.
giving her a hug. She was the nicest person ever. And so
I
then
think she's kind of foxy.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
She's like gorgeous.
She's
in
my
real life.
age.
Is she really?
Yeah.
I actually did think I looked that up. I was shocked by her age because she looks great. She's
53.
Not a wrinkle on her face.
Black don't crack.
They sure don't.
Yeah.
Well, then she was very impressed with the dance and says, "Are you coming to Detroit tomorrow?" And I was like, kind of looked at her like, for what? She's like, we have a show there tomorrow.
She's like, I'm asking you to go on tour, so you're not going to be on stage. You're going to come backstage and dance for me every night in every city.
I honestly didn't know, and I had to work the next day.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what do you say to Missy Elliott? She's inviting you to her show. So like the assistant manager person was like, all right, yeah, we got you. We got floor seats.
Little Caesars Arena? What was she doing in Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to Detroit, and I'm like, am I about to like quit my whole life? Am I about to go on tour with Missy Elliott? Is she going to bring me on stage? It ended there, so it was a nice two-day tour.
Yeah. Quit my whole
so
life.
awesome, though.
That's great.
So now, you guys, I have a much bigger fun fact. It's not that I Irish dance for Missy Elliott on FaceTime. I Irish dance for Missy Elliott in real life by invite.
And then went on tour with her.
For a day. Yep. Yeah. 2-day tour with Missy Elliott.
Listen, of the Midwest.
The tour of the Midwest.
You just say you went on tour. You don't have to give everybody all the facts.
Yeah, true,
like I have a friend, he says, I'm a comedian and I've performed at Madison Square Garden. Now, when he performed at Madison Square Garden, he was in a marching band. But
I thought you meant like the Paramount Theater or something like that.
Both facts.
Yeah.
He is a
Line.
comedian. He
Yes.
has performed at Madison Square Garden.
It's all true.
Yeah.
So then I got, I posted the videos, of course, of me dancing for Missy Elliott. And I got some annoying people making comments like, what would go through your mind? You get to meet Missy Elliott and you're like, oh, I'm going to Irish dance. I'm like, you guys, you don't even know.
That's why you got to meet
why.
her.
If I was just meeting her backstage, no, I wouldn't have been like, hey, by the way, I can Irish dance. I'm like, no, that is why I got to go backstage. So I want to clarify that for all the haters on social media.
I know that there is a certain Irish dancing because we've talked about this. My girlfriend in college was an Irish dancer, and so I'm pretty well versed in that whole thing. There is kind of a standard tempo to that music. Never gets too slow, never gets too fast.
Yep.
How quickly do you think you could Irish dance to
Oh, well, see, when
I do a metal show here on the Buzzard.
Oh, I'll bring my shoes.
Yeah, and I'm curious.
When I want to go real fast and really blow people's minds, I go a cappella. Because then I can just go and you just hear the beats from my shoes. Go
Okay.
crazy. But I'm sure we could figure out something. Oh, wow. Yeah. This could work.
Could you Irish dance to this?
I can Irish dance to anything. This could work. Practicing on my hands.
Like the floor there's smoke coming up from your feet. The friction against the floor. All right,
when my parents got me into Irish dancing, I never thought that I'd be at my young age of, how old am I again? Like 20.
You were 26 years old.
26. At my young age of 26, this is where it would take me. Irish dancing for Missy Elliott and coming in
metal.
to Irish dance to metal on Alan Show.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. This might be more mid-tempo, though. This might be something... You could probably do this. The double bass, the little blast beats in there, and you could dance to this.
All right, if you want to, you got to do it over here. To get it on the camera.
So she knows all this because of Pass the Dutch. She knows the Irish dancing because of that. In that
So
video.
yes, so
Yeah.
Trina and the manager, they were very unfamiliar.
Yeah.
But then yes, when she saw me do it via FaceTime, and then I think when the videographer had me do it again, she was like, this kind of fits into my Pass That Dutch video.
Yeah.
Which it does. And so that's why I thought, like, maybe she's
Did she
trying
have
to
you do
get
it on
legit.
stage or no?
No, I know.
No, that's all right,
See,
that's the next goal.
When I got invited to Detroit, I thought that was it. And so I
Yeah.
purposely wore like an outfit that
You could do
just
it on
in case
stage, yeah.
I could do it on
Yeah.
stage. And then I thought, well, maybe I'm just going to do it backstage again. And then she'll invite me to Montreal, which was the next stop.
Yeah.
But I never saw her again. So I was like, maybe.
So wait,
It's
when you
just
went to
nice-
Detroit, you didn't even see her?
No.
You just got to go?
Yep, floor seats.
But you do
I was
have...
real close.
But
That's
you
still
do...
really cool.
I was like waving to her like, Missy, it's me, the Irish dancer. Come
you
on.
have a very specific interaction with her because, like, I guess all three of us meet people all the time, and they go, "Oh, I met you here," right?
Yes.
And you hope 9 times out of 10 you might not remember, but that's just a personal interaction. You had a specific interaction with her.
Very
So if you
specific.
were ever to be like, "I'm the Irish dancer,"
Yes.
she'd go, "Oh, right."
Yeah, I mean,
Not like I met you in Detroit. She'd go, whatever. I
it
danced
would be
for you.
crazy if she forgot. I mean, hopefully, I mean, at this point, when I refer to Missy Elliott, now I do say my friend Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's saying like my friend Bridget, the Irish dancer, but like we're gonna get there at
I'm
some
sure
point.
she's telling the story all the time.
all the time. I am like, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Bridget. Do you want to hear
I
my
really
fun
wanted her to
fact?
quit her whole life and come on tour with me.
To Detroit,
and
and then Montreal.
No, like someone
Her
did-
name was Barbie or something. I don't know.
Someone asked, like, would you, if she asked you to go on tour, would you? I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, like, but like you'd have to like quit everything. I'm like, it's Missy Elliott. I don't know.
Could you imagine if her entire tour, every stop, she has one person backstage with a very specific skill, like a weird thing that they do, and you were just the Irish dancer that night.
I was the Cleveland token.
But like when I was in Chicago, I met a guy that was really good at yo-yo.
Yeah. Kelsey Cook's dad, or whose dad is that?
Kelsey Cook's dad
Nikki
is
Glazer? Who's the yo-yo guy?
I think Nikki Glazer's dad's the yo-yo guy, and Kelsey Cook's dad is the trumpet guy. Which he was at one of the shows, and I was like all excited to meet him, and then I didn't get to meet him.
Yeah.
I'm really bummed about that. Because
the guy, Missy Elliott goes to Tulsa, and she's like, "Oh, there was a guy who won a hot dog eating contest, and he chugged down 25 hot dogs in front of me, and you were the Irish dancing girl in Cleveland and Detroit. So Detroit, you just got to go to the show.
Yes, I think maybe that was her like. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like
thank you for showing your talent. I'll give you tickets to my next show.
Yeah.
Which in my mind, I was like, I'm about to go on tour, which was not the case. Not the case.
I'm about to go on tour.
A little bit of miscommunication between me and Misdemeanor, but it's fine.
That's why they call her Missy Miscommunication Elliot.
Yeah, that's what they should call her.
What if Missy Elliott is now demanding an Irish dancer on her rider? Someone says, right?
Well, and if it's not me, I'm gonna have some beef.
Oh,
with
you've
Missy.
been replaced.
She cannot replace me. Come on.
Her rider, it's probably got like, I need 48 bottles of Ciroc or whatever. I need, 2 cases of water. I need these kinds of chips and one Irish dancer.
One Irish dancer.
Yeah. Alan, I say something similar. I have sung at Carnegie Hall, but I'm not a professional singer. My high school choir traveled and joined the other choirs and sang a section of Mozart's Mass.
Well, you did. You sang there.
Oh, I wonder if I've got something like that. I sang at Carnegie Hall. No, I don't think I have anything like that. I'm a comedian and I play Madison Square Garden.
That one is great.
Performed, yeah.
I was going to say, so what would you say your fun fact is?
I don't know if I have a fun fact, like a thing I can do or...
Like anything. Like mine.
You are seeing the extent of my abilities. I'm not... I don't...
I feel like you've got to have something.
I don't know.
You've thrown out a first pitch.
Yeah, but a lot of people have done that. I mean... and the old guy smoked me anyway.
I think yours is...
can't hang my hat on that.
You got in a fist fight with...
Oh,
Vanilla
yeah.
Ice.
I got in a fight with Vanilla Ice. I mean, that was a long time
ago. That's a great one. What are you talking about?
That was a long... Yeah, okay.
Well, it still counts.
I got in a fight with Vanilla Ice. Yeah.
When I'm 80 years old, I'm going to be talking about Irish dancing for Missy Elliott. Who cares if it was a long time ago?
Your grandmother danced for Missy Miscommunication Elliott. And they'll be like, yeah, great, Grandma.
Like, okay,
I don't know who she is. I don't know who you are. We're here twice a year, all right? Easter and Christmas.
Listen, she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, kids.
Yeah, they're like, what's that?
Wait a minute. I need to hear the story, though.
I was hosting a thing. This is when I was on the air in Pittsburgh. And I was hosting. They did it. There used to be a chain of bars called Have a Nice Day Cafe. Did you guys have one of those here? Probably had one.
I think we did for a
minute. In the flats or something.
Okay.
Anyway, 70s themed, yellow smiley face called Have a Nice Day Cafe. And 20-odd years ago when I was in Pittsburgh, they had one in the Strip District. And one summer weekend, the club had booked this 90s or 80s retro weekend or something, right? An outdoor concert. They were going to sell tickets. Just a parking lot concert. So they had this big stage, Vanilla Ice, Tone Loc, somebody else. I forget, it was like 3 or 4 acts from that era. And because one of my normal appearances was a club night at Have a Nice Day Cafe, they said, hey, would you host this show? I said, absolutely. So it was going to be a lot of fun, whatever. Everybody else throughout the day had done their sound checks. This was before they were even letting people in. But I was there all day because I wanted to help out and oversee whatever needed to be overseen. So everybody, one by one, was coming and doing their sound check. Robert Van Winkle, Vanilla Ice, did not want to do a sound check. Well, anyway, so he pulls the move where he shows up late and then wants to do sound check. So the other, I don't know if he was hammered, what it was, so the other acts are mad. He's mad, whatever. And I go up because he's starting to get into it with some stagehand who I know because he's just a guy from the club. Yeah. And I get up there and I'm kind of trying to, hey, man, what's going on? Well, let's figure this out. And he kind of turns around. He's like, he doesn't know who I am. Whatever. And then I'm trying to diffuse the situation, whatever. And he takes a swing. Oh. And I kind of bob back like this. And I get one at him. And he turns around and he kind of looks around. And it was like it kind of knocked him back into some kind of clarity of something. And he just ran off. Didn't do the show. Oh. It was a whole thing. So it's not like I got into a fight with him. But he took a swing. I connected. And then he left.
I mean, you could just say that. Vanilla Ice took a swing at me.
But you know what? The first thing in my brain was, I'm going to be the one in trouble.
Right. That was catch the second.
Well, that's actually
It didn't come.
disappointing.
It didn't come to that. But he didn't do the show.
That's disappointing when you hear about these celebrities or musicians, and like you think you're a fan of them, and then you hear stories like that. Like, why do you gotta?
Well,
You just told me one.
What?
Off the air.
Yeah, I sure did.
yeah. But also, it's like he was clearly inebriated or in a bad spot, because by most accounts, today, he's a nice guy. He might have been a nice guy back then. That was literally my only interaction with the guy. So it's not like, because every time he's coming through or whatever, people are always like, oh, you should have him on and talk. I go, I guarantee you,
He doesn't
he'd be
remember.
like, I don't know what you're talking about, whatever.
Right.
And even if he did remember, so what?
See, you're a nice guy because you only get one first impression. You could be spreading a lot of bad things about.
But I don't
Vanilla
care.
Ice,
I
but
was
you
just
don't
trying,
care, yeah.
again, this 20 years ago, I was just trying to make sure things go smoothly on this thing, right?
Yep.
They don't know who I am. I'm the local radio douche or whatever. But everybody else had fun, and
What a story.
yeah, it was pretty wild though.
What a story. I mean, Bill, we're coming to you. I don't know if we have to go to break, but
I do.
Oh, yeah, we do, but mine's quick. I'm Eskimo Brothers with The Big Show.
with who?
The Big Show.
From the
wrestler.
WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Full circle moment coming back to WWE.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he pulled an angry pirate on the same girl. All right. Yeah.
And Larry Johnson, who you played for the Charlotte Hornets and the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Same girl.
Oh, wow.
She
She gets around.
Not the same time though.
I mean,
It was
two
Larry
people
Johnson
over
and the Big Show
She's
and
just a little
Bill.
older, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
she got good.
I love his. Mine's real quick. I'm asking my brother the big show.
Yep.
Just does it real quick.
Yep. And you know what the girl in that situation said? Ironically, Bill, the bigger show.
Hey.
Oh, there we
She
go.
didn't say that.
All right. Let me take a break. Bridget Lind is in for Mary today. Comedian Jason Chaney is going to join us later on. He is doing a one-night tonight, doing a one-nighter at Hilarities. You go to Hilarities.